Hey guys, 18 here with Quiet Author Updates. I missed my Sunday deadline last night, but I am here today, one day late, so getting a little bit better. Um, I've been playing a lot with proportions, so ever since we did that, the big hand, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This one here. All of a sudden, it just clicked for me once I knew you guys liked that, so thank you, because that helped a lot. I decided not to do it on every page, but on a lot of different pages. So I think I showed you this page last week where he was in proportion and holding these plates, but now I'm just having a lot of fun making it out of proportion, because why not? I love, here's some Pinkalicious that's been inspiring, like this picture of the mom's legs just kind of long and thin and off the page. And then the doctor bending over. I love this. I love these pictures so much. And then, let's see, I have a Calvin and Hobbes. So for those of you who know from the previous video, I based this character, Georgie, a little bit. He's a mix between Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes and The Little Prince. And then actually today, as I was doing this one, no, not that one. Which one? His face, I finally was able to do it in a 2D way that I really liked. And I'm like, there you are. Finally, there you are. This guy here. A big hand again pointing up at the sun because he's trying to tell his mom it's about to snow and they can't possibly go to school when it's about to snow. This face actually made me, at first I'm like, who are you? Who do you remind me of? And any guesses, guys? I forget his name, but the little elf in Rudolph. I don't know if it's the eyes or the mouth, or the the one who wants to be a dentist. I love that little guy. So anyway, I think I have a mix of all three. Hopefully y'all think he's cute. I think he's cute. I don't want him to just be like a pretty little thing. I want him to have a little personality and a little mischievousness to him. Okay, here's a great quote from, this is a fantastic book, Calvin and Hobbes, an exhibition catalog by Bill Watterson, because you can go through all these pages and he talks on each page about kind of what he was thinking when he did that comic strip. So on this one struck me. It says, sorry, my lighting is so bad in here, but it's surprisingly tricky to draw things exactly wrong because you have to know the rules pretty well to break every single one. The strip was fun to draw, and you can see the things that are just kind of out of proportion here, and it's just so true. And that's why I struggle, because I don't really know how to draw well in proportion. So it's really hard to draw well out of proportion, even when it's just one limb. But hopefully, I think it's coming along. I'm actually feeling really happy with how it's turning out so far. I think I'm about halfway there. This one came to me today again because of the legs, the mom's legs in Pinkalicious. My youngest daughter was saying, oh, why don't you do something like that where her legs are going off the page, they're like long and skinny. And I said, yeah. And then I sat down to do it. And I'm like, what could he be doing? Is he kind of pulling at her pants leg? And so I started it off just kind of in a profile. And then I kind of changed him up where he's back facing us, because that's kind of a cute pose and a little bit different. And then I thought, oh, instead of just pulling on her pants leg, why doesn't he just wrap his arms around and around and around her to just emphasize the point that he doesn't want her to go. I'm seeing all these areas I have to touch up, but that's the gist of it. So I feel like I'm really liking how it's coming together, and I have a fun idea for the for the last page, when it's going to be full color, and he'll be, actually that's not the last page, but sorry, this is not the last page, but so it's not full color, but he'll be peeking, around his mom's legs into the classroom. And for that one, his neck will just be whipping around and into the classroom, like super elongated. And then actually for the last page at the grocery store today, it kind of hit me what I want to do for that, which is full color, and he's waving to his mom from recess, and she's at the parking lot, and he's just like basically saying, thanks so much for your persistence in getting me here. I love it here. And he's blowing her a kiss, and the heart is going from small to large across the page, because I figured that was also a bit poignant, because instead of his body like being Gumby and just like stretching and elongating, it shows that he's content at school, and that the only thing that's really expanding then is just his love for mom. Something like that. It sounded really good in my head and kind of weird when I just tried to explain it. Anywho, I wanted to show you guys just a few things I'm trying to work on. For those of you that have followed me with the Rhyme Time Twins, I used to love to do, let me get this out of the way, painted paper collage. So like I used to do a lot of, let's see, like I would paint these coffee filters and texturize them. And so like this one here turned into Zoe's hair. These are so old and crumpled now, but it's just kind of, I look through them sometimes to just remind myself of where I started, and hopefully how far I'm coming. But like, there's still, I have to say, there's so much I could improve on, and I will redo a lot of it one day, but gosh, my heart is definitely in these pages, and I do love them for what they are as well. These are like, so I remember doing this little mermaid, and she's maybe 2 inches there, and I was cutting her out with an X-Acto knife or a razor or something and gluing her onto the page that I had designed here. And a friend taught me about digital art. This was kind of my introduction to digital art, and she goes, if you import this into a program, you can expand it or shrink it however big or small you want. And I just thought, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, that would change my life. And it has. Yeah, even though I'm really bad still on the computer, I have come so far, you guys. From where I started, I did not know a thing. This is also very much like me, where I didn't know how to draw the chains of the swings, and so I just said, you know what, embrace mixed media and use some little chains I had in a jewelry set, and glue those on there. And like the swing seat is, I think those are matchsticks. So I just love incorporating whatever I have around. And so now that I know digital art a bit better, I can clip these out and put them on like my last page that's coming along here. The slide and the swings will go somewhere along there. I'm still working a lot on these, but I kind of go back and forth between 4 or 5 pictures for about a week, and then hopefully finish them all around the same time. But that is sort of the journey thus far, you guys. I'm trying to finish this up by the start of the new school year, and I think I'm going to use a place called Book Baby to do this one. I'm just going to need help with cover design, but I think, and formatting, but I think everything else will be. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you guys, if you're there and you want to answer any questions, what I am thinking now is, should I bring more painted papers into this book? So like for this one, especially like the close-ups, maybe not every picture, but maybe the close-ups. I'm thinking about, should I, sometimes I do painted paper like on tissue paper to just see that effect. And like I just did this one this morning. Hair. Feeling like that could be Georgie's hair. I could insert that into this drawing and instead of the digital hair. Because I know it looks like crayons kind of, but it's or pastels, but it's digital. So I could insert or import that. See, I'm trying to use my lingo here, and try to do his hair with painted papers, but I don't know if that would take away from the tears being painted or just overkill. I don't know. So I might play with that a little bit and see how it turns out and then ask for a vote. But if anyone is watching this and you have a strong opinion, please feel free to chime in. I think that's it for now. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you Sunday. Hope you're having a good Monday. Bye.